I grew up with people who chose to live heterosexual lives even though they knew they were gay because they were afraid they weren't going to have basic American values, family, home, marriage.
What I learned from some of the religious organization we talked to on Friday is that there was, or people we talked to on Friday, was that there was a fear that they were going to hell. There was a fear something horrible was going to happen to them. Now, you actually got depressed and tried to commit suicide.
I did when I was a teenager, when I was 16.
Was this all part of that confusion?
It was growing up in that environment. It was fear of rejection from my family and my friends, but it was also the idea that something was wrong with me.
There's something broken. You've reconciled that now?
Well, I not only have reconciled it, but I'm the one who stuck it out. And now I am in a 17-year relationship. I'm married. I have a child. I have a station in my community. I go to parent-teacher conferences. I have this honest, open, happy, stable, wonderful life. So the reason that it's a different time now.
Well, it's a different time, but I think one of the things, here's sort of, if I could frame the conversation and dig through some of the confusion, and Dr. Nicolosi, I'm going to come to you in just a minute, but we're really talking about choice, that we're trying to preserve, we're trying to have a conversation about should choice of various kinds be preserved, and if they are, what are the potential social consequences? Mm-hmm. And because that's where it gets a little confusing, because you're saying, geez, the fact that some of these religious organizations have picked up on, say, some of the techniques, the reparative therapy, which we're going to define yet, hang on, has maybe worked to harm people, young people.
Because it's based on shame and guilt and something broken. And when you are surrounded now as a teenager by evidence and positive gay role models and legislation that's evolving and changing, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that someone would still have that kind of unsupported shame and guilt.
Okay, well, let's take we have another guest who's on the phone, Mary Lou Wallner. She's joining us from Florida. This is a very personal story, similar to what you're talking about here, Sam. Her personal story altered the course of her thinking. Mary Lou, tell us about that, please.
I was raised in a conservative Christian home and church environment and taught that homosexuality was a sin, and in 1988, my daughter, Anna, came out as a lesbian to us as she was a freshman in college, and I rejected that. I did not love her unconditionally. I didn't throw her out or forbid her from coming home, but I made it pretty clear to her that I didn't approve of her what I thought to be chosen lifestyle, and then in February of 1997, she hanged herself, and that was the end of it. And after that, I needed some answers, and so I really went on a journey of studying the scriptures, praying, talking to people on both sides of the issue, and finally, after about a year of study, came to the belief that I had been taught an untruth by the church, and that indeed homosexuality is not a choice. You might be able to repress the behavior, but you certainly cannot repress who you are made to be. And I believe that God makes us the way we are, and I believe that homosexual people are created just as they are by God.
Dr. Nicolosi, how do you respond to that, and then tell us about reparative therapy?
Well, certainly it's a tragedy, and we don't attempt to justify it in any way, but people can change. People have a choice. People should be given a choice. And if a person chooses to exercise his potential, his heterosexual potential, if a person is trying to understand the root causes of his homosexuality and perhaps diminish the sexual attraction, he should be allowed to do it. We provide that therapy. Therapy works, and it doesn't work for all people, but it works for some people.
Do you worry that the fact that treatment is out there is going to be used by people to have unintended social consequences? You understand what I'm asking?
You mean as a cultural statement?
That unfortunately...
You mean for the client or for...
No, that the consequences on other gay individuals who don't want to do anything but be who they are.
I think we should get to a point where gay is okay and also not to be gay is okay.